Hi, Del. I'm sorry, I was in a meeting and something came up. I do apologize for it. Uh, if you're still available, I have just sent you meeting invite, the credentials for the Zoom meeting. Yeah, I sent you a Zoom meeting credential on your email. Do you want to do a Zoom meeting or? Yeah, if you check your email, there's a login credential. If you just click it, I'll be waiting there for you.
Hi, DJ.
Hey, hi, Del. So how you doing?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty good, doing pretty good.
Good. Sorry about that. I actually that went into spam. That
Oh,
went into my spam folder, so I've got it now, so I'm all right.
all right, all right, all right. Well, I appreciate uh, your time, and I'm really excited to actually take this conversation forward. Like I say, so if you can throw me some light on it, what exactly, as in, do you want to accomplish? Let's say, do you want to own your own business, or do you want to work with this? If you can throw me some light on those aspects, as in.
Yeah. Well, frankly, I'm kind of open. All right.
Right.
I've got, I right now the way that we're sitting is I've got my own company. 3D Easy Routing is my company. Okay. Again, but we're split where we have Easy Routing as the technology side. There's a company called GDI, or Geo Data Intelligence, and then there's my company, 3D Easy Routing. Okay.
Right.
And I sell it underneath my company name, 3D Easy Routing. I sell the product right now underneath my company name. And I don't have any, frankly, we have never put any license agreement or anything in like that. Let's just, for the lack of a better term, I don't want to get into bed with this guy. Okay. I've been with him for 5 years, but I got to tell you, I mean, I keep getting frustrated, to no end. So I wanted to keep myself, there was a point in time where I thought we should be business partners. And then the more I got into it, I thought, no, we shouldn't be business partners. Okay. And, he doesn't have a bad reputation or anything like that, but he's very, very difficult to work with. All right. And maybe I'm that way too, to some extent. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? I hope I'm not, but you never know. I mean, anyway, the bottom line is right now, here I've got all of these customers to take care of. Honestly, I've got to go out and hire some people right now because I've got too many customers to take care of. Okay. With only a couple of people. All right. And it's going to take some work for me to be able to do that. So I've got to get some people trained on the support side of things, and just to be able to train new accounts coming on board. Like I said, I'm bringing on two or three new accounts every single week. Okay. And it's getting to be pretty hectic. So, like I said yesterday, I really had the thought process of, do I do my own thing? Do I pull out and just rebuild this thing? Okay.
Right.
And I've got the techs. I've got some of the techs. I may not have the entire team, but I've got some very, very good, knowledgeable people that can help build this thing.
Right.
It's not easy. I mean, it's a very comprehensive system, all right? And not everybody can do it. I will tell you that. There's a, typical developer is not going to be able to figure it out, okay?
Right.
It's
Right.
very comprehensive on the back end.
Absolutely.
So, I know it would take, I mean, we've already looked at it and we think that we can probably knock it out in about 8 months with a team of about 3 or 4 people, okay?
Right.
And that's not a long time, but we think we could probably have a product to replace what I've got right now in about 8 months. All right.
Okay.
So the truth is my idea is they're my customers. They only know me. I'm the one that leads them down the rosy path, and their confidence is in me. Okay. More than anything else, because we've got a great relationship with every customer that I've got out there. So if I give them something better, if I, 8 months from now or a year from now or whatever, if I get something that I've built that's better than what we have, and I think we can make it, there's no doubt I can make quite a bit of improvements to the situation. They'll step right up and come right in. And we don't have contracts. That's the beauty of it. We do not issue contracts. That's one of the reasons why I have a very easy way to sell to districts and get them on board, because it doesn't require a contract.
Right.
We're selling on a subscription basis only. Okay. And I got to tell you, I fight that with this other guy. He thinks he comes from the contract world. And I go, you know what, as long as if we're providing the technology and we're providing the support, these people will never leave us, okay? Because I know this industry, and it's very true, and nobody's leaving us, okay? Nobody's left us. And we've had some hiccups along the way. We've had some technical hiccups along the way, and frankly, I've salvaged it to say, hang in there with us, okay? It's a matter of time. We're gonna get this thing fixed, and this was about 6 months ago, and we have these challenges every once in a while. And I'll tell you the other thing that really bugs the living daylights out of me about this operation is that they will, we're moving fast. In their defense, we are constantly updating things, and they're actually doing more than what they need to do, in my opinion. But because of that, they're not testing anything before they put it out. They don't have any QA. They don't have any quality assurance testing for anything that they're developing. They just fire it out there, spit it out, and let the customer deal with it. All right. Well, since I'm the guy that they talk to, I'm the guy that they have to deal with. They call me. I'm the guy that sold it to them, right?
Right. You take
So
all the questions.
yeah, they call me, and I'm thinking, and I just have been screaming. And frankly, this guy's nickel diming the operation to some extent, nickel diming it to death. Doesn't want to spend money for a QA tester because, frankly, we're taking care of it. We're it. We're the QA tester, because when we get the complaints and I've got to log it, I've got to let the technology people know about what the heck's going on. And this is every day.
Oh,
I'm getting tired of it. Okay.
right.
I've routed for a long time, and I've routed on some systems that are extreme, like TransFinder. Okay. TransFinder is a very good, I mean, not a good company, a good profitable company. They've been successful. Okay. Doesn't mean their product's any good. It's not. But they know how to market it. They know how to sell it. They don't know how to service it. And they're kind of losing a little bit of market share right now. Okay. So it's, I want a better system. I want when I develop things, if I have my own team developing things, I have to have control, because I know what it takes. And I have to make sure that before we put something out there in the marketplace, whether it's an upgrade, a new feature, or an updated feature, that it gets thoroughly tested before I put it out there in the marketplace. We have to have that. You have got to practice. You're going to have enough bugs as it is, even with doing that. Okay. But if you don't do that, you're going to fight what we've been fighting for 2 years. Okay. Constant battles. All right. So that's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking. So as far as whether we join forces or I get, I've got people looking at me. I mean, I've had conversations, what do you want to do? I want to grow this business to what I think it can be. All right.
Right.
Uh, Go ahead. I just don't know.
Based on my understanding, with the kind of ability that you bring to the table for this industry, I mean, you should be making millions by now. And that's what
I'm not. I'm not.
I mean, that's the reality. I mean, if we look at some industry and if we look at some industry and we say, what are they doing to transform the world? I mean, how are they looking to? So let's just give an example, right? We talk about the late 90s. We have the Jespers, the VCRs, and all that, right? And then we have the blockbusters. Then comes the Netflix. So all this, the blockbuster guys actually analyze everything. They say, okay, what are the customers are likely to be interested into? What is more receptive for the customers? For the subscription base. So again, Blockbuster was booming, but then Netflix came along and they analyze everything and they say, okay, we can do this online. So they changed the entire business. Like
Right. And I'll be honest with you, I think that's what needs to be done in this case. Okay.
right.
I really think it is. I think it can be done. I think it's time to do it. And man, to me, what an opportunity for somebody to come along and change this industry. These people have been taking advantage of these districts for 25, 30 years.
Right.
Literally from a contract standpoint, nickel and diming them to death, everything's an upsell. All right. If you want an extra license, you're going to pay dearly for it. I mean, honestly, you can make one heck of a business by doing it, in my opinion, a fair way to be able to get these people as actual partners. I got to tell you, with what's happening now, I'm getting calls almost daily from districts interested because they've heard about us. Okay. And when I tell them, listen, we do it a different way. We got a completely different method. I don't do any contracts because we don't need them. Okay. We do a subscription based only. I don't charge you a fortune up front of your cash. Okay. But on the other side of things, I mean, we still have to make money, right? Okay. And we can't give it away. We can't give the product away. But I did a lot of research on my pricing when I priced this out. And I got to tell you, I am dirt cheap to get into. I am extremely cheap to get into. But at the end of the day, in 5 years, 7 years, 9 years, when I keep these customers that long, I'm making more money than any of these other companies.
Wow.
All right.
Wow.
Right. On a subscription basis. All right. They're paying me more money at the end of 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 8 years. So the relationship builds. We let everybody have licenses. We have unlimited licenses. I want parents to get involved in it. I want the entire district to get involved in it. I want secretaries to love this program. Okay. Because the more buy-in we have from a district, that means they can't take it away. They can never go back to what they had before because they're not going to get what I'm giving them. Okay. So at the end of the day, at 6, 7 years, I'm making more money than TransFinder off of these customers or Tyler or Edgelog or any of them. Okay. So it's a smart move. It's a smart move, but it's a long-term play. Okay.
Right.
But that's what it is.
Okay. Now, let me tell you a little bit insights about Spot Bus, right? So Spot Bus is basically free for the school district. The routing system, for the admin consult, and everything is absolutely free. Because our product is so good that the district actually sign up and only the parents pay for it if they want to track their kids,
Wow.
right?
Wow. That's different. Yeah, that's different.
And not
Yeah.
only that, I don't go to the school district and resell them. I have a conference call. Instead, companies like Safety Vision come to us and say, "Hey, you know what? We've been working with Tyler Technologies, and we see that you guys are doing phenomenal job. And what we're going to do is we're going to go out there, and they already have a contract with the school district because they do surveillance
Yeah.
on cameras and all
Yeah.
that, right? So they
So yeah, you're talking about, I'm sorry, you're breaking up just a hair. I think I lost you there on the connection. Hold on a second. There, you're back. You're back. Say that again.
okay, so
Yeah.
they provide. So one of our clients, I'll just give an example about one of our clients, right? They
Okay.
provide stop arm cameras, surveillance, and all that for the school bus, right? For
Correct.
the industries, and then for the schools, safeties, and so forth. Now, our product is so good that what they're doing is they went ahead and approached the school district and say, "Hey, you know what? You've been spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a yearly basis, route creations, all this other features coming in for the admin consult and all that.
Yeah.
Now, Safety Vision is actually providing you the admin consult for free, and it has all the ability. Our admin console have the ability to create routes, track the kids, and there's no hardware involved in it, right? Like I say,
Mhm.
there's no hardware involved in it.
That's
That's the
that's amazing. That's amazing. That's completely different, right?
right.
Completely night and day. Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're analyzing everything. Like if you look at how Uber changed the way the business structure goes, they're killing the taxis and all this the public transportations, right? Lyft comes along
Mhm.
and all that. So
Right. Right.
what we're doing is in the future, we're going to attend lots of trade shows once this COVID has been, settled in a bit. So, but right now we do have lots of resellers. And then what we do is, I mean, I think you could be one of those guys who can actually help us and come on board, or we can white label our products and you can sell it based on the price that you want. Now, for an example, let's say we recently signed up with a school district, right? One of our partner went to the school district. The school district have different schools, the kindergartens, they have around 12 different schools within that district. So the transportation managers actually sign up for $25,000. So our subscription for the parent app, we just charge for the parents app, right? For each kids. Now they can see where the bus is. And our parents app has the ability of all those ETA, exact time of arrival, pick up, drop, a bus, and all that, right? And on top of that, we do have something called Alexa integration. Now, if you have a kid and you're cooking right now and you're so busy, you don't want to go check your phone and say, "Okay, where's the bus at?" Instead, you can just press the button and say, "Alexa, where is Scott's school bus?" So Alexa is going to tell you the bus is 2 minutes away from the pickup point. So we
Right.
integrate all those products right now. So we're doing a
Nice.
phenomenal job. And I do see great potential aspects on how we can partner. Like you say, we can sign an NDA about what we should not disclose. And I really
Right.
want you to come on board and then see how we can work together, white labeling, or you want to take this, we have a set of pricing. And based on that, you want to, make your own pricing, that's absolutely fine. Or we can do a revenue sharing basis, or, you can become one of our directors and so forth. I mean, I would need you to talk to my management team, basically. That's
Yeah.
the whole point. Does that make sense to you?
Let me ask you a couple of questions. First of all, tell me a little bit about your pricing. When you say that you're not charging the schools,
Right.
you don't charge the schools for anything at all? Nothing, zero.
Zero.
And you charge the parent though?
Yes. Now, what
Right.
happens is the school district actually likes it very much that, they typically have a funding. One of the school district actually paid for all the students instead.
Right.
So they have 25,000 kids, and each of those kids, I mean, the price for the login per month, right, for tracking one kid is just $5.
Uh-huh.
$5 into 25,000 kids, that's what the school district pays. And if not, if at times the parents pays, not everybody signs up, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, they're paying for are they paying for the number of riders actual? Because if they've got 25,000 kids, maybe half of them are on a bus, right?
Right.
So are they paying $5 per month per rider? Do you break it down to that extent?
They have, okay, the name of the school is Warren K-12. They have around 65,000 kids. Out of that, 25,000 are bus riders, right?
Okay, I got you. Okay, so you're a pretty large district. Are they in Massachusetts or where are they at?
They're
I
in
mean,
Indiana.
Indiana, Warren?
Yeah, Warren K-12.
I should know them. I don't know them. Are they down around Indianapolis? Yeah.
Yes, Indianapolis. So that comes from a reseller, but that's just between us. I don't want to.
I'm not going to take it anywhere, so don't worry about that. Yeah, I'm not. One thing you can do is, I mean, I'm not going to, when we talk, it stays here. It's that simple. That's what I expect and that's what I like. All right.
We're very open, and like you say, in terms of our product development, we spend, I mean, thousands and thousands, and I would say millions of dollars, right, already implementing it at our backend office here in the United States. I travel back and forth to India, and then we have our team here in Massachusetts. So basically, we have the support team in India, we have the sales team here. And so this is not the only business line that we have, but this is something that we're trying to take it to the market. And the beauty of this product is that investors are already approaching us saying, we want to invest in your company. And we say, you know what, we're not taking any.
Not there yet.
Because
you're not ready for that. You're not ready for that right now.
Yeah.
I'm the same way.
Right.
I feel the same way. I mean, I want to, it's too early. Okay. It's just too early. And we've been at this about 4 or 5 years now. All right. We're just coming out of the startup phase, to be honest with you. I mean, we went through where you're at, 4 or 5 years ago and beta tested and did all that stuff, but now we're sitting there, I feel like we're just out of the startup phase now and actually becoming a real company. All right.
Right.
But I don't like the setup. What I'm really looking for, I would like to join somebody that can offer me some, I've got part of my tech team, but I'd like to get somebody to help build this thing and pay for it, frankly, with what's up in my head. I've got a blueprint of everything I've done. Okay. And I would like to rebuild this thing to make it better than what we've got. And combine it. We're going to have your type of technology out there because it's demanded. It's expected today. Okay.
Next generation thing. Yes.
Absolutely. It's completely expected today to happen. And I think that you're going to find that most districts would rather pay for it. Like that district, most districts are going to rather pay for it than have their parents pay for it. I'm going to be honest with you. That's my gut feeling. I'd be surprised if you got too many districts that would take it seriously if you're going to have the parent pay for it, because I got to tell you, parents don't pay for anything relative to the school if they can help it. Okay.
Unless they are from the Christian schools or the private schools. Yes.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. But here's the other thing you need to think about too,
Uh-huh.
moving forward is, there are billions of dollars that are going to be given to these school districts. I mean, small, tiny school districts are getting gifts of 50 million, 30 million, 45 million because of the COVID funds. Okay. The feds are going to give them all kinds of money. We are absolutely in the right at the right time to be selling something to these districts that they can use because there's going to be plenty of money out there to pay for it. And it's already happening to me. All right. They're calling me from out of the woodwork and saying, hey, we want to take a look at you. We're interested. Sometimes I'll close a sale. I won't even have a demo. I just close them on the phone because of the knowledge that we've got. And I tell them what it does and they've heard about us. And it's like, okay, sign me up. Let's go. Sign me up and we start working together. So it's not a difficult situation, and it's going to get easier because of the fact that I'm going to get bigger, and I'm going to have more accounts, and I'm going to have more word of mouth and stuff like that that's going on all the time. See, so if it takes me a year, I'll continue selling what I've got. I'm going to continue selling because I don't want to lose my traction. I want to build a business, okay, and I don't want to lose the traction that I've got underneath me by any stretch of the imagination. But maybe I've got 200 customers at the end of the year or 250 customers in next year. And that's when I want to turn it loose and say, okay, we're going to convert you now. I'm converting all of my customers over to the new platform.
Right.
That's my goal.
Or else maybe we can talk about, if you like all the features that we have, and then you want some add-on features and all that, we can white label it, make it your own company, and you can make the pricing based on the way you want, you know,
Right.
and we
Right.
can work in those aspects as well. There are lots of the other, we're open to everything. We're just 1 year in terms of the business, right? But big companies
Yeah.
approaching us, that's the beauty of it. The biggest surveillance company in the United States are coming to us and say, hey, we want to work with you. That's the kind of
Mhm.
ability that we have. I don't want to exaggerate
Yeah,
it.
and we have the same thing on now they may not have heard of us, to be honest with you. I've got Synovia after me now to talk to me.
Oh, they're
They're
actually,
pretty decent.
Synovia,
CalAmp, they just got bought out by CalAmp. They're a pretty big operation now. But they don't have any routing software, see. And they don't but they don't want to create routing software, I don't think. I'm not really sure yet. But so my idea, they just want to go into business right now, but they don't understand that we're not ready. What I have right now, the product that I have, it's not good enough. Okay, it's not good enough. It's better than anybody else out there, and no kidding, but it's not good enough. Okay, and if I've got, I mean, I got to get my own techs on these things and be in control of that technology to rebuild this thing. I don't necessarily have to rebrand it because I've got my own company now, 3D Easy Routing, but it wouldn't make any difference because if I did, I did. But I mean, I've got inroads with large districts that are waiting for me to be able to pull the trigger and say, I'm ready to come in there. I kid you not. I mean, Hillsborough County down in Tampa, that's in the United States. I just met with Jim a couple of weeks ago. I was down in Tampa a couple of weeks ago, and I've been in there a handful of times. And he says, "Listen, come on in here. Let's go. Let's get everything set up because I really, if you can provide everything that I'm going to need, if you're telling me that." He says, I'm tired of Edgelog. I've had them for years. I've never been happy. Let's go forward. Okay. And I'm holding back because I'm not quite ready yet to do that. Okay. I'm not quite ready yet. I don't want to sell them something that's going to give them any bit of a headache. Okay. So I would rather hold off, and he would too, I guarantee you, rather hold off until we are perfected in what we do. Okay, is what it amounts to. or get at least dang close, a little bit closer than where we're at. So I don't know. It's I've got people that are talking to me about partnering. I've got video companies out there, not big ones, small potatoes basically, but I've got a couple of decent sized companies out there that are looking at me and saying, okay, let's partner. Everybody wants routing software. Everybody wants routing software. And I can tell you that all of these districts want one one vendor to deal with. That's their preference. Okay. And if you don't, I'm sure you know that by now.
Yeah. TransFinder does that, and they charge like $5,000, and they train the transportation's team just for the routing, and it's very complicated. I do know about that.
Yeah. It's but TransFinder, I mean, they're not all their own company. They buy a lot of things on the outside. Like they utilize Esri maps. We were talking about maps a little bit yesterday. We use OpenStreetMaps, OSM. Okay. I love that much better. For routing purposes, I love it. First, it's free, number one. Okay.
Right.
And number two, I can fix that base map.
Right.
If I've got, I don't have to I don't allow the district to do it. We take care of that on our end on the support side. So if there's a change, there's no perfect map out there. Esri, Google, Bing, they're all different. They're all close, but there are none of them that are perfect. Okay. So the thing is why not? And you can't change Google Maps. You can do an overlay. That's what TransFinder does. That's what they all do. Okay. They'll put an overlay on one of those maps, Esri maps, and let the district, put in streets and stops and all that type stuff. And they do an overlay on top of the base maps. And then in 4 or 5 years, when everything's grown up, then they come back and your maps are old and you got to go buy new maps. Okay. From TransFinder, from VersaTrans. It's another upsell type situation. Okay. Well, when I tell them that we take that away from you, we take the burden off of your shoulders of having to update your maps. We update maps every single week. We give you fresh maps on Monday morning. We render them on the weekends. So any changes that we have, and you're going to get on our live chat. We have live chat. We're the only ones out there doing that. It's the biggest selling thing in the world. Okay, is to be able to provide live chat to a routing plan, to a district routing, department.
Right.
So instantaneous support within a minute. We don't have a phone call. We don't even have a phone that you can call because you don't need it. Okay. You don't have to call us and wait for 5 hours for us to return a phone call for you or the next day. Tyler, horrible. Edgelog, horrible. TransFinder is not good by any stretch, but they're the best out of the three when it comes to support. But frankly, lately I've had people telling me I've called TransFinder 20 times. I don't ever get a return phone call. Okay.
Right.
That's why they lose business. So for 30 years, these companies have been, maybe somebody will have TransFinder for 5 or 6 years. Then they're fed up with them because they don't know the program. They still haven't learned it. Okay. After 5 or 6 years, then they go to Tyler and they use VersaTrans or Traversa for 5 or 6 years. And then they hate that because they never did learn it in the first place. Okay. And then they go to Edgelog or they'll go to some other company, out there and try them. So it's like a big circle for the last 25 or 30 years that these districts have all been changing into these same 5 or 6 routing software companies. Okay, that's what's happening. Because there's none of them that are any good. I'm not kidding you, man. Right. And what we have now. We started out, we're getting too complicated.
Okay.
We're really getting too complicated. And that's because the technicians, they have a mindset like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this. Well, they're doing exactly what you should not do, okay, to be able to maintain the business. It's got to be easy every step of the way for the user, okay? You know, these people that are routing inside these districts, guess what they were before they became routers? They were bus drivers. Okay. They don't have a degree, right?
Right.
They don't have a degree.
Yeah.
So they're very simple, very easy going people, and they are not technology. They are not technology oriented. Okay.
Right.
So you have got, you know, I call it routing for dummies as a bet. Okay. That's what I think you have to build. I keep telling our people, you got to think of it. You got to route for dummies. I mean, I'm one of them. I used to be a router. Okay. And that's how simple this thing has got to be. Well, when you get too complicated, too big for your britches, you're and then start breaking down and having bugs galore because you're adding too much stuff to it. It's not necessary. It's
So
just not
let
necessary.
me ask you this, Del. Do you have your own pattern on the routing server?
Do I have my own what?
Uh, do you have your own pattern?
I don't have, I don't own the technology at all. Okay. I'm strictly the mind behind it. Okay. I'm the guy that built it because I'm the operations guy that knows this business. So I let him done is what it amounts to. And I did that thinking that we were going to be partners. Okay.
Right.
Then I held back. And frankly, I've held some things back from them that I'm not going to give them at this point. I'm not going to let them know what we need to do to fix things. It's the relationship's not there. Okay.
Right.
So I would really love to have a good relationship, rebuild this thing, and then, and then just convert every customer that I've got over to a new program within the next year, after I get it all built. That's where I'm at.
So what we can do is we can work together. I mean, you can come to our team, or if you want to rebuild it, that's going to be taking quite a lot of times and time consuming.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, because if you work with us, I mean, you can work with us, like you say, we have the customer service, we have the billing team, we have the chat support, we have the technology support, the tech support teams, the
Right.
development teams, business development teams, marketing teams, and the sales teams. So
If you got all that in 1 year, you're doing pretty dang good. Okay. Because that's not easy. All right.
right,
That's a lot of infrastructure for a year-old company, right?
right,
I've heard of you, but I don't know anything. I don't really know anything about you. I've just heard about the business. But I looked at your website and I thought, you know what? That one looks pretty interesting. I mean, there's a lot of different small companies out there trying to get into this industry. Okay, in all honesty. But I got to tell you, I think you need I think you need the whole kit and caboodle. And I don't mean cameras because cameras can be separate. Okay.
yep,
Cameras can be separated out. But when it comes to tracking, bus tracking, student tracking, routing software, I think that all needs to become one entity. I think that's what a vendor really wants. Or not a vendor, but a district really wants. They want to buy technology that deals with transportation. Okay. They want to buy it from one company if they can do it and deal with one company, one good company.
exactly. We have all that in our platform. That's the beauty of it.
Where's your how are you structured as far as physically? Are you located mostly up in Massachusetts? Do you have is everybody virtual? I mean, I'll be honest, we're all virtual. Okay.
Well, okay, right now I'll tell you, in Massachusetts, there are only 15 people right now, only 15 of us, and the rest of them are in India. And the girl who reached out to you was one of my sales rep from India.
Gotcha. Right. Right. Okay.
You have a back-end office there, and the development team are mostly in India, but three of the development guys are here in the United States as well.
Right.
So
You're gonna have to have some I'm not going to I'm not going to pull any punches. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but I'm going to tell you, you're going to have some English speaking support team. Okay.
Right.
In order in this country that is going to speak English, because I've gone through that with Chinese. Okay. And I got to tell you, you want to, it's just that these people they're old people, right? They're like me. They're old and they're set in their ways, and they are literally, they don't want any complications. They want everything about as easy as they can possibly be. Language is one of those issues. Okay. Not going to lie to you,
Absolutely.
but I'm just being realistic, man, because I know how they are. I know how these people are. And I've had them tell me, you know, do me a favor. And that's one thing, my cohort in this thing, he's from China, he's Chinese. And, and, he's a smart guy. There's no doubt about it. But, his initial support was some Chinese, ladies that they're smart and bright. They're very bright, but I got to tell you, it doesn't make any difference how smart they are, because you know what? They can't explain it. They literally can't explain it. Okay, when they get on with a customer. So I had customers when we were first bringing them on, and they said, you know what? I'm sorry, but I can't talk to her. I can't understand her. Okay. So that's a real issue for these old bus drivers. Okay. I'm telling you, that are sitting there routing. All right. So I'm just being honest about it. It's not anything about being prejudiced, man. It's just the way of that it really is. Okay.
Very good.
So you got to be realistic about the situation. And I told him, I said, we've got to get people that can speak English, Chase. I said,
Right.
it's just that simple. We have to. So what I'm doing now is I'm handling the training end of things. I'm handling all of the training. Um, and I'm hiring, I'm getting ready to hire another director. So I'm trying to bring people that have been in this industry as salespeople, because they talk the language, they understand operations. And I got to tell you, it's so much easier to be able to get into a door if you've been in this business. Okay. I can go into any door, any district across the country, because I'm an ex-director of transportation. I can talk to anybody. Okay. And I know what their needs are.
Right.
So that's who your salespeople really need to be if you're going to go after anybody in this United States. You really, and you can get them. They're out there. Okay, these people are out there, and you don't have to pay them a fortune. You can put them on a little salary and commission type basis. They will open doors for you because they've been in this business for 20, 25 years. Okay, tremendous amount of retirees out there all across the United States. There's and I've done the conventions, I've done the shows that frankly they're a waste of time. I mean, everybody attends them, and they really are a waste of time, because there's a lot of tire kickers coming by and getting your free goodies and so forth. Okay, out there, I got to you could be 10 times more, 20 times more effective.
That happens everywhere when the trade shows happens. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And you can be 20 times more effective to stay right here in front of your microphone and on your computer and talking to people. And you're going to sell way more, okay, than spending a fortune going to these shows. All right. I've done it. I've been there, and I got to tell you, I know that, there's a few of them that are okay to attend, but none of them are worth my time. Okay. I've not found one worth my time yet. Okay. So guess what? There's an easier way to get your name out there. You don't have to go sit in these convention, these trade shows and everything. You don't have to do that, man, because nobody's taking you seriously anyway. I mean it. They're not taking you seriously anyway. It's wasted money.
Right.
You're not going to get your name out there. You want to get your name out there, you market it in a different way. You start getting people to talk about you, all right, about your product.
Right.
And there's some more. There's more to it, but there's better ways to get into the door and get known, okay, than those trade shows. All right. So I'd like to have about another 4 or 5 years underneath my belt to really build a solid operation. Okay.
Right.
That's my goal.
So,
Build a solid company, have some young people take it over and keep it going and build it to a big, I wish I was 40. I'll be honest with you. I wish I was 40. If I was 40, I would love it because getting into this thing right now, I think, oh my God. And with what we have coming down the pike, with all this money coming into these schools, I sat with the district yesterday and I just asked him, I said, how much money, do you have any idea how much money you're getting yet from the feds? He says, $15 million. That's why I'm talking to you. I'm going to buy whatever you got, you know? And I go, okay. So you can't lose that right now because whatever we're selling, okay, whatever we want to sell, that money's there for it. Okay. It's coming. It's
right,
coming.
right.
Great timing.
Great time.
Right? Great timing.
So,
There's nothing better than that.
exactly,
Right?
exactly. So Dal, so how do you see us working together? I mean, as I bring my management team, so do you want to take the route of, setting up your own companies, or you want to look into our products, rebranding it, and all those aspects? So just give me one.
Let me ask you a point. Let me ask you a point blank.
No,
Go ahead.
give
Go
me
ahead.
one moment. I'm going to grab.
Go ahead. Sure.
Just give me one moment. Right. So what happens is we're open to actually negotiate with potential clients like you. We need people like you, basically, right? We're not looking for people who are from the technology world and all that aspects. That's not necessary. We know all the technologies, we know how to build it, but you know the markets, you speak the language, you walk the walk, and you talk the talk, right?
Yeah, that's true. I agree totally. I have to because I've seen it, and and I've seen these guys that don't know the language that go in there and they try to sell and they might make a living out of it. Okay, but they're not very effective. Okay,
Right.
I mean when I can go out there and bring on 100 clients in a couple of years and really frankly not go after the market because I didn't work very hard to do that. Okay, it's just because I could have doubled that easily. Okay. Had I had the time just to go out and be able to sell, and that's all I had to do was to go out and open this market up. Oh my God, I don't know what I would have sold. Okay, to be honest with you, I don't know what I would have sold. But I've been a one-man band for a long time on the marketing side, on the sales, on the support, on the training. I've done it all. Okay. So I mean, I've been a one-man operation here, and I'm sitting here now thinking, I'm growing like a weed. Okay. I'm growing like a weed. I got things opening up for me like there's no tomorrow, and I got to have a team. I got to get a team. Okay.
Right.
So that's where I'm at with this thing. But the way I see it is like this. Here's what I would like.
Okay.
If I had my choice. I would like to have somebody come in and frankly hire my team, me and my team, okay, and rebuild this thing. That's really what I'd like to do, okay, and hire myself and my team and say, all right, have an ongoing reasonable percentage. Right now, I have 50% of the market share, okay. I'm not going to lie to you. I get 50% of the market share. Okay. In fact, I get more than that. I get 50% of the subscription fees. Okay. And then I get 100% of our onboarding fees because we're doing all the work. We're doing all the data. It's not easy to get data, and I got to tell you that's a very difficult thing because these school districts have lousy routing data. Okay. So it takes a lot of time. As a matter of fact, I just bought a speech recognition system to be able to utilize for Excel. Okay. There's only one. There's only one available out there. If we want to create something, it ought to be that because there's only one damn piece of one product out there that will allow you to actually have a good speech recognition program that you can utilize and for Excel and building CSV files. Okay.
Right.
And they're not dirt cheap. They're not bad, but they're not cheap. So anyway, it's a nightmare to be able to pull their data. Okay. Because districts don't have good data. And we have to obtain routing and student information and school bus vehicle information. So it takes some time for the onboarding process to happen. But I tried to, and the thing is you could kick it back to the schools and you can say, okay, we give them some templates. And they get frustrated right off the bat because they're not technology oriented, right? They don't want any additional work. So if I don't take that work, I'm going to lose that account. I would rather take that work off their hands, get them on board so I can start collecting that monthly check. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, or quarterly check. Most of them pay me quarterly or annually anyway. That's why I could care less about you know, how out of 100 districts that I've got right now, I bet I don't have 3 or 4 that are paying me on a monthly basis. Okay. On a subscription basis. They're all paying me quarterly and most of them are paying me annually. Right? So why do you need a contract? Okay. You know, so anyway, that's what I would like to see. I'd like the right company and I like your ideas about what you guys are doing. I want to know a little bit more about it, frankly. Okay. But hearing as far as you do have tech team, so we could use some. I would love to be able to utilize some of that tech team to be able to build this product. Okay, but I would like to be able to spearhead it with I've got 2 guys. I've got myself and 2 other guys, and I'd like to be able to leave them and 2 guys in charge of the overall project because of the fact that they know this thing. Okay.
Okay, what about the social media, like the LinkedIn post? And let me just,
Yeah.
I have a structure here right now. Just give me a moment. I'm sorry.
No problem. No problem.
So we have we have some we have a social media team. We have a press release team. Even among the marketing team, we strategize. You know,
Right.
so that's the whole aspect. So that's the kind of support that we can get you. I mean, as a value-added service.
And that's nice. Yeah, that's nice. There's no doubt about that. That all helps, okay, to get that name out there, okay. But I got to tell you again, we go direct. Okay, I go direct. My brother my brother's 70 years old. He's a workhorse. Okay, been in transportation his whole life, but he's been in marketing. He knows sales and marketing, and he is the one he's my marketing team basically. All right, so I get probably 30 to 40 hits. I kid you not, I have probably 500 districts that I haven't even talked to that have looked at us. Okay.
Oh,
I got that many districts out there that if I had a sales team out there to go after them, I could put them on it. But I got to be the one that closes these deals, or I've got to hire people that can close. Get me in the door, I'll close them. It's really that simple. But I've got other people that I'm bringing on that can do the same thing. You have to be in this business. I got to tell you, it's so important. It's just so much easier to be able to understand what they're talking about and know exactly their pain points, because that's what it's all about, is how can we help you? How can we fix your pain points? But you have to understand them. You thoroughly have to understand their pain points. And if you do that, man, it's not hard. I'd rather, if I didn't have experience in this industry, I think it'd be a tough sell. I got to be honest with you. I think it'd be a tough sell. Just makes it so much easier to have those credentials, and I can tell people I've sat behind that desk. All right, I've sat behind your desk, and I do consulting. I mean, I do consulting work as well. I've got people in this district I was in yesterday. It's not they're going to buy my software, but they also want to hire me to consult with them because they want to set their operation up totally different. So, it's But overall, it's a very powerful business. The market is massive. The market is absolutely massive.
Right.
I think with your, and I like your idea about no hardware, okay? I need a little know a little bit more about the details because, here my guy, my counterpart, he's coming out with tablets and GPS and telematics and everything else. Now I'll tell you what everybody wants, and if we can figure this out, um, at cost effective, okay, is to be able to figure out when a bus stops. This is what every director wants out there. When a bus makes a stop and stays, we have to have proof that that bus actually stopped, okay, at a stop.
Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you how it works.
But I mean, it's got to be proof. We've got to be able to show the proof to say, hey, that bus stopped there this morning at 7:16. All right.
Exactly. So I'll tell you how our app works. So we have an app for the parents, app for the drivers, and the admin console, right? So the admin console looks at everything and have access to everything. The drivers, where's the pickup points, what time are the kids going to get picked up, where's if Joe is going to being going to pick up that XYZ place, and Susan is going to be the next picked up at XYZ again, and so forth. So what happens is we have the bus driver app that actually, communicate with the dashboard, the admin console with the parents app, and it automatically route and exactly see where the bus is real time. Just like Uber is, right?
Right.
And if it stops, if it's not moving, it would even tell you how many minutes where they stopping at that stop.
So are you using the same or similar technology as Uber then, essentially?
We're using map kits and yeah, essentially pretty much the same in terms of the mapping systems and all the push notifications. And it's when it comes to notifications, like let's say your kids are 5 minutes away, 10 minutes away, the alert message. We don't use emails or anything. We use Twilo, the alert message.
Right, which is great. That's how it should be, frankly. Okay,
right.
That's how it.
Checks their email anymore.
Yeah.
And
Emails.
And if the parents are actually complaining and saying, where my kid's not being picked up at this morning, we have all the proof. In fact, and the admin console and the bus driver app and the parents app are all communicating. So it actually have all of that integration going on. You would love it, which is why, like I say, the best surveillance company in the United States are approaching is they stopped their contract with Tyler Technologies and they started promoting our products. We didn't go sell it.
That's powerful. That's damn powerful. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, that's strong. That's an interesting thing, man. I like it. So as far as your admins, so is a transportation director or do you have multiple administrators inside of a school district that can have access to it?
Exactly. So if they want to have, so the admin console is free, like I say. So if the transportation director wants 5 admin console logged in, we give them 5 admin console logged in. That's fine because it's free of cost for the school district.
Right.
See,
it doesn't cost any money to be able to do that anymore. Right. I understand.
And not only that, in terms of the data, uploading the data, the kids' data, if you have their pickup point, the longitude, the latitude, and so forth, it automatically detects where they need to be picked up on a CSV file. Our routing tool actually, when you upload that, it automatically integrates and the bus driver sees it and it actually tells where the bus pickup point should be.
we do that with in a different way, probably. But we do have that technology as far as, or let's say the operational aspect of it. We do that with our tablets. We capture the lat long, but the driver has to physically push a button on the tablet to be able to capture the lat long.
Okay,
That's what we're not doing that.
for us,
Go ahead. Yeah, we're not doing.
the bus driver is
Say that again.
the bus driver is not going to push anything for us, because once the bus, once the bus driver goes there, because well, what happens is once the bus driver turns it on, that communicates, the bus driver, the GPS communicates with the parent's GPS, right? There's no hardware installed,
Uh-huh.
it's an app. So what happens is when it,
Are you using, are you bus driver's telephone, cell phone turned on, or how are you? I mean,
if the bus driver don't have,
because,
okay, if the bus driver don't have cell phone, we give them one, but everybody does have it.
okay, I got you. Okay, I got you. Okay. Because I was going to say, you know, the only potential kickback that I would see is there's a lot of drivers out there that they'll buck and kick about using their own phones for anything. Okay, that's the truth. A lot of them, you know, decent people, they'll say, yeah, no problem. I have my phone on. Of course, you know, there's a lot of state laws out there that the driver cannot use their cell phone for anything while they're driving a bus. I'm sure you're aware of that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We were,
So, so in that respect, if you've got that situation, so your company will provide a cell phone, or will the district buy that cell phone and put it on there on that bus?
we 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 will buy it and provide them, or if they want a chunk of it, they would have to actually pay a little bit more of the subscription fee for the hardware. That's the only thing. But again, most of them would have a cell phone because the app works on Android platforms and it works on the iOS as well.
And that's right, right. And a GPS, you can't put just a cheap $100 GPS unit on this bus.
We don't install the
What's that?
We don't install the GPS. It's a live GPS, just like the Uber does, right?
Yeah.
So the GPS communicates with, it's a network over the network. It's over the network. There's no hardware installed in it. Like I said, that's the beauty of it.
Right.
Next generation that we're cutting down the cost. We analyze everything. We're trying to change how the transportation industry is actually, transporting the kids. That's what we're doing.
I get it. I get it.
And we,
I do. I get it. I love it.
and we need people
I
like,
really do.
and not only that, we started having green buses, the electric buses coming in, and all this fuel cards and tracking the bus drivers, as in, all that. The Tyler technology is transfinder, how much is the fuel consumptions and so forth. All those things are just an additional thing that they're trying to make a buck. But with our app, in the future, it's going to transform, because we know the exact miles that the bus driver was driving, right? As it goes along, we track everything. So it's an easy concept.
What about, well, okay, you're routing, whatever you're doing, you're kicking out the actual route that the driver's driving, and you can print that off on a route report or a CSV or something like that.
Right.
But I can't imagine there's no planning on it as far as being able to allow a router to plan routes, field trips, for example. Okay.
They
Things
can.
of that nature.
They can.
They can't.
They can.
Okay.
On the admin console, right? On the admin console, you can add the kids. So if they have a change of address, pickup point, they can actually do that. We will take you on a demo on our platform. But our negotiation have to be really to a point where, you know, we gotta be sure what we want to do, then we will.
Absolutely. I understand. I understand. I agree totally. Um,
Because we're providing all the admin consult free to the school district, which is the beauty of it. But if you want to charge them, you want to resell it, you want to relabel it, you want to put your logo, rename it, whatever you want to do, we can do that. Or, you know, you can work on a revenue sharing basis. Let's say our operational cost is, let's say $50 for the, just for the kids. We just charge the kids, right? So if you charge $100 a year, I mean, all this Tyler Technologies and others are charging $25 and all so forth. So anything you charge beyond that, you're making like $15 per users, wherein our charge, minimum charge is only $5.
mhm. $5 per kid,
Yep.
per month,
Yes, sir. That's correct.
per month. So if you got 1,000, well, but you're not charging, you know, here's where I have a problem with it, okay, a little bit. See here, my software for a school that's got less than 1,000 kids, I'm at $249 a month for my routing software, okay?
Okay.
Now, and again, that seems like nothing. That sounds like, oh my God, 249 bucks. Well, anybody thinks, but it's also 3,600 bucks a year is what it is. It's 3,600 bucks a year, and in 10 years, it's $36,000. And if they bought TransFinder or Tyler or Versatrans, they would never spend that kind of money total. They'd spend 18 grand up front, and that'd be nickel and dime for the remaining 10 years. Okay. So that's why I say in long term, I've got more money coming in, more revenue by far than those companies. Okay, as long as they keep us. All right, but it's still it's so inexpensive. It's an easy sell, right?
Right.
It helps sell it. Let's put it that way. But it's still got to work. It's got to work for them because it doesn't matter what you can give it to them, and if it doesn't work, they don't want it. Okay, if it doesn't work correctly.
It absolutely works correctly. We use Amazon Web Systems. We're using lots of technology. We're integrating a lot of technology. See, we're not trying to make a profit at this point. And the investors are knowing what we're doing because there are lots of tech savvy investors out there. And when they learn
Yeah.
about technology, they say, hey guys, we want to invest on it. There's a guy who literally called me on a daily basis. I said, I'm not interested. My boss is not interested. He said, you need to talk to me. We want to invest on it. I said, sir, I can't do that right now. But as we move on, you know, maybe down the line in the future, we will absolutely have a chat. That's what it's calling.
Yeah, of course, of course.
So
So
basically,
what I'm trying to think of with your technology, what I'm trying to think is how we can marry the two ideas together. Okay. I mean, what part can a routing platform play, you know, in the technology that you've got? I mean, I got to tell you, you know, student tracking is another one that everybody wants it. Okay. Everybody wants student tracking. So how can you handle that? So you gotta do that with a Bluetooth type scanner. All right. Have you guys looked into student tracking?
we right now what we're doing is, once the bus driver goes and picked it up, it actually sends a message. It has a twilo message, you know, just like an SMS, the twilo.
Right. Right.
So it will get a text and say, your kid is 5 minutes away. And once they board it, the kid has been boarded, the bus driver would typically either click manually, there's no swiping anything. That's it.
Can the kid have an app? Does the kid have an app?
Yes, if they want it, but it's the parents who actually, you know, we don't want them to wait in the cold weather and so forth. So estimate.
You got to be, yeah, I understand. You got to be extremely cautious on that. It's not that you got to think about what they would use it for or what they should use it for. Okay.
That's the problem. So we're not we haven't come to a point where we allow them to actually all take the cell phone with them at this point in terms of the tracking system. And again, the parents, they're seeing the bus route live in real time. So if the
Right.
bus is in Manhattan right now at 11th Street, and then, all the parents are able to see it, but do not see which kids are being picking up at that point unless they have, they can only see their kids pick up point. So
Good, good, good. Because that privacy is going to be huge. Okay.
the
One,
data privacy is really something that we're concerned about as well. Yes, that's right.
yeah, yeah. The other thing that you have to think about is what you don't want to do. Can you put a geofence around there so the parent can't see the entire route? Can you remove if that bus starts 20 miles away or 10 miles away? I know Uber, you can watch them right from whenever you have the bus coming or the car coming, you can watch them along the entire route. Okay, I get that. But I got to tell you, it's a dangerous situation for this reason, for parents to be able to see that entire route. And especially when that bus goes by them because of this reason. You got to think of safety. And you'll have a lot of kickback from directors that know this, that understand this.
We have three guys who are actually working only on the geofencing.
Okay, so if you'll show that route when that bus is close, mile, 2 miles, and maybe give them some access to some of it. But the thing is, you don't want that parent, if that kid misses that bus, here's my point. If that kid misses that bus because he's not ready, and that parent knows where that bus is going, okay, and they will chase that bus down and kick that kid out of the car and drive that kid behind that bus and say, hurry up, Johnny, get ready. We can go down there. We'll go down and catch the bus down there. Okay. Dangerous situation because those kids will fly out of that car and go running up to that bus to jump that bus. You got to you can't allow that to happen. You just can't, because everybody will catch that. If that's allowable, then you guys are going to, I'm telling you, you're not going to be as successful as you think you might. Okay.
We're not going to allow that because once they miss the bus, the district, we will sign up. We have some sort of mutual understanding. There's a terms and conditions once the kid is not boarding it, unless they tell us that they're going to change their pickup point, right? If they miss the bus
Yeah.
and they're chasing it, it's not allowed unless they should be picked up at only their pickup point. Or
That's the way it should be. Is they only get picked up at their pickup point. I would be
AM route and PM route, that's it, where they should be picked up.
right, exactly.
They cannot be picked up or dropped at a different location. We don't allow that.
Good. Okay.
And then as we move along, if you want us to implement anything, you have a better idea, our teams would be like, they'll do it at just a snap of a finger. That's it.
I think we need to think about working together. Okay.
Absolutely. I'm really excited, which is why I've been trying to get a hold of a guy like you. I mean, I've been talking to many school district transport directors, but not somebody who is actually running the business. I'm talking to the actual school district transport directors who are currently working at the school,
Right.
not in the business. So you're the first guy. And
Yeah.
and it gives me a sense of where we're going, and I'm really excited, and I really appreciate your time. And in fact, like I say, the lady who reached out to you is one of my my lead generation lady, and then I drafted all the emails. If you actually see the LinkedIn messages, so we have.
Yeah, I did. It's what it caught my eye. It caught my eye because of the fact that you were I think you said something about being able to set somebody up in their own business.
Right.
And I thought, where's this coming from? Where's this coming from? Well, the thing is that I like that idea but I like to be able to present that to people that have been in this business that are ready to do something on their own, and there's a million of them across the United States. Okay,
Yes, and when we
a
send
million.
and when I send out for instance, I always train my sales team, to the transport director, they send you that kind of message. But if they're reaching out to a routing guy, at the school district, I would typically talk about the geofencing, pickup points, and all that.
Right.
You have to speak their language, and that sparks their interest.
Sure.
And again, like I said, Dal, the people that we hire in India are basically people who have worked in a company like AOL, Capital One, American Express, that
Right.
the call center industry for like 10 years. We don't hire freshers. So
Right.
if you work with us, you'll
So who is literally, I mean, you're trying to hire salespeople across the United States now, right? You're trying to hire people out there and the manner that you're doing it, try to get some interest like I came to the table. Okay.
Right.
Have you got anybody running this show other than you right now? Honestly, as far as the United States goes?
Uh, Meaning, can you elaborate that? Yeah, you know,
Yeah, I'm talking about, are you basically heading the entire United States right now? Is that your job, is to make sure you get out there and get all this sold out there?
right. In terms of the exploratory call, as a director of the business development, I take care of the potential clients, like a senior guy like you. But if you're a routing guy or some, low-level guy, I have another sales managers who are working under me.
I got you. Okay. I got you. All right. Uh, I would, let's get an NDA, okay? Because I would really like to take a look at what you got.
You want to send us your own NDA, or you want me to send you our NDA? I mean,
Go ahead and send it to me, and then if I tweak it or something like this, I'll take a look at it. Let's start with that anyway. I've got one too, but we can, just go ahead and send me one if you've got it, and we'll take a peek at it. All right, and we'll put it together right so we can. What I have to be careful of is this on an NDA is I have to, I don't mind showing my wares either, what we're doing, okay, what we've got. I don't think you're looking to get into the routing software business. And honestly, um, I'm not so sure you could tackle it anyway, to be honest with you. Okay. I don't know. I know I hope you have a good team. I hope you have a great team, because if I want to do something with you and I want them to help us build a routing platform and marry our two products, okay, honestly, to come out with everything that somebody needs out there in these districts. I hope you have a great team, because it's gonna take it. It's gonna take it. It's gonna really need it.
how much is your routing software cost?
It starts at $249 a month for a district. If you're under 1,000 kids, if you're 1,000 to 1,500, it goes to $299. I have a matrix. I'll send you the matrix. Okay, I'll send you the pricing matrix. And I mean, like, a student, 10,000 to 12,000 kids, it's $1,200 or $1,300 a month. It goes up. Somebody like a Hillsborough County be somewhere up around 100 grand a year, 120 grand a year. Okay, so it goes from $249 to 200,000 students in a district. It's 120 grand a year. He didn't blink an eye. Okay, 10 grand a month. He didn't blink an eye. Okay, so the routing piece honestly should do, as far as just the routing software piece of the business with the pricing that we have, I'm probably at 100 right now. It's got to be upwards around let me give you a realistic
let's
situation.
let's do this. If your routing software is so good, I mean, ours is something. We have geofencing, the routing software guys. I'm not the tech guys, but the routing that they're creating, I mean, they're doing lots of technology works. But when I can show you the demo, and you'll be amazed with the route that we create.
Yeah.
You can just add the address; it automatically detects it, longitude, longitudes, and all that, right? And not
Right.
only that, it gives them the exact locations and so forth. Now, we will also,
Do you have something that would optimize that route for that driver, for that school district? I mean, do you have a button that you can push to optimize it in the better, most efficient manner?
exactly, they can optimize that in any way they like, and it is absolutely free. It is all done through the admin console. But if your routing software is so good, maybe you can demonstrate it with us, and we can integrate it as well and package it to this,
That's,
not to the school district, but I'm talking about to the Christian schools and so forth.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Oh, it's pretty fantastic. I'm not kidding you. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good system, man. See, we can do all the consolidation. We can auto generate routes. I can take 1,000 kids or 10,000 kids and I can build routes like that.
Right, same thing. I mean, what they do is, if they give us the address, the longitude and longitude of the pickup point, we just
Right.
upload it on CSV file or Excel file. It automatically uploads it. Or else, if they want to customize it and click that, and they can even set the timing based on it. So, or else
You
the
you
tool
get like,
the tool itself calculates the distance, and it automatically assigns the timing of the bus's arrival for the next pickup point.
right, right, right. And is that based on miles per hour on the streets and everything? Is that based on mapping?
Exactly. It's
Okay.
everything. Happening.
Um, and then see the other part's not just about all automation either, because the other big see my counterpart, that's what he thought. He thought he was going to automate everything. So you can't, because
So,
what you don't know, and what none of us know inside of a district, we don't know the driver's capabilities. We don't know the terrain. We don't know their area. Okay. We don't know all the roadblocks and the hazards that they have and the hurdles that they have to jump to be able to make it work. There's no computer in the world, no algorithm in the world that knows that like that router does, or like that director does inside that operation. It's part of my sales pitch. Say, listen, we can have the best algorithms in the world create routes for you, and we can consolidate, and my system will do that as well or better than anything else out there, but it's not perfect. I'm only going to get you to about a 90 to 95% level. But what I've done is I have created tools. I've enabled very easy tools for you to be able to control it, because that's part of my sales pitch, to say, you know what, you know your drivers. I don't know your drivers. Okay. I don't know their capabilities. You know their capabilities. So if one driver can take 40 stops and another driver can only take 25 stops, you have to be able to edit those routes to make them fit for your district. I give you the tools for that. Okay.
okay, we have the same thing. So,
Okay.
so, let's say the school district have, for instance, Warren K School. Let's get back to Warren K School, right?
Yeah.
So Warren K schools have the kindergarten is located at different locations. The junior high is located at different locations, and the high school or senior high school is located different. So
Right.
each of those, for the kindergarten, there's bus route number one, route number two, right? So the route number one, route number two, all those can be recreated. We customize that. All of those features are available. And in fact, if the school district don't want to do it, they give us the longitude and latitudes, or if they just give us the address and everything, our software itself would automatically update it. And that's the beauty of it. It cuts down the operational cost for them too. It makes
Right, absolutely,
life easier.
absolutely, absolutely.
And then
That's
we're still improving our products as we move forward. We're integrating Alexa and all that.
Sure, sure.
Like I say, we're going to go I mean, our vision is to host a webinar, make people aware of who we are, but we're just 1 year all at this point, right? But
Right.
people are already approaching us. I mean, so that's the kind of level ability that we have. And you coming in and partnering with people like you is something that I'm really excited about.
Well, all right. So let's get an NDA. Go ahead and shoot me an NDA. Let me take a look at it.
Right.
And then let's figure maybe next week, one time late in the afternoon. I got to tell you, I'm just booked solid during the daytime. Okay. I mean, fortunately we're both on the East Coast, so I'm good after about 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoons.
That's perfectly fine.
If that's okay with you. Okay.
Our CEO is, I mean, right now I'm actually working from my home office, so I'm not in the office right now.
You see mine,
Right,
same way,
right.
same way.
So, but then, I mean, our CEO is actually in the office because the developers, the guys are there, and we have different lines of business that we have to take care of.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Which is why, but 5 o'clock, after 4 o'clock, that's all fine. We can do it. I'll send you a simple NDA,
Okay.
and we'll take it from there, right?
Okay. That sounds great. Sounds great. Been a pleasure.
Right. You have any question for me before I let you go, Dal?
I'm good.
All
I'm
right.
good right now.
All right.
Have a good evening. I'll get back to work. I got a lot of data I have to work with. Okay.
All right. All right. Sounds
All
good.
right.
Great talking to you. You have a great day, sir.
You too. Thanks a lot.
I know.